this is going to be a big deal for the community. And I don't say that lightly. This is something I've been doing now for 11 years. And so I've seen technology just like all of you have. I see it every day. And at first it's exciting. And then all of a sudden it loses a lot of its luster. So with what we did here with AIME, and just so you all know, UWM helped push and make sure we help facilitate and bring this agreement, bring this to you, all of you at the broker space. This is CoreLogic. And I had people ask, CoreLogic, John, how is it better than this? How is it better than that? Your favorite data people use CoreLogic's data. They have 80% of all the appraisals in the country. That's from CoreLogic. They are the only company connected to every tax assessor's office in the nation, all 22,000 plus from CoreLogic. Nobody has that data. So striking this agreement was a big deal. I saw a lot of this when I was in retail. We used CoreLogic. Now to be able to have conversations is a huge ordeal. And do you want to know why they're ready to have the conversations with us? Because their data is telling them the same thing that we've been hearing for a long time. Broker market share is not going to stop growing, and they don't want to miss out. So I hope that was a good introduction. My name is Jonathan Haddad, CEO and chairman of AIME, and I got two wonderful guests with me, but I'll allow them to introduce themselves.
Hey everyone, Tom Wallace. I am our part of AIME as our president of growth. Titles may have changed, so I screw it up. I'm not big on titles. As you know, for me though, work with AIME, also managing partner here at Edge Home Finance. As Jonathan said, CoreLogic's tied into everything. I mean, when he got to take a visit down to Texas, so did I. We went to their Discovery Center, which was like truly some James Bond 007 stuff, right? When you realize that they're tied to insurance and catastrophic loss, and Jonathan mentioned UWM and how they're using it. There isn't one facet that they're not involved in the lending process, whether it's appraisals, whether it's title, whether it's credit reporting, you name it, they're involved. This is something massive. I know Jonathan and I got a chance to demo some of the products that we're going to show you today, but we've got over 100 people right now that are on the live. We'll have a feedback on this, but I'm going to tell you, this is a game changer. So other gentleman that's with us here, Mr. Dylan, let everybody know who you are, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Thanks, Jonathan. Dylan Buckner. I'm the CoreLogic rep on the call, and I'm really excited to be partnering with AIME and Tom and Jonathan and all these things. So I'm a sales executive at CoreLogic. So anything you might need help with precision marketing, with everything we're going to be talking about today, I can help you. And I'm one of the product experts to help build it with a team and bring it to market. And again, really excited to be here. And thanks, Jonathan and Tom.
Thank you, sir. And we're going to get started quick, y'all. We're not going to keep you waiting. So pretty cool. Dylan happens to be a friend with an awesome human being I went to high school with that we just found out today. So very, very small world. Thank you for your service. And I got to make sure I reach out to Matt as well and thank him because he's an awesome guy and was always incredible and a good dude to me in high school as well. So appreciate you sharing that. But from your side today, so there's going to be two platforms. Tom and I have been piloting this just to make sure we're bringing something to the community that we believe in too, because I'm still originating, Tom's still originating, and so are our companies. So the first one we're going to talk about is called precision marketing. And there's a couple takeaways from here. Number one, how you can leverage this to never lose an opportunity for any clients that you do a loan for and make sure that you have the chance to make sure they come back to you. Number two, how to use this with your real estate agents to get you more meetings. And we've built these scripts out. You'll have access to this, of course, because I'm a salesperson and so are you. You're going to have to work for it a little bit to get these scripts from us, but we have them all. We're going to make your life easy. So Dylan, we're going to dive right into precision marketing. And if you don't mind, I'm going to give them a quick oversight of how this works as you open this, but I believe you have some of our data available to look at.
Absolutely. Yep. Let me get it pulled up here.
You're good. Take your time. So this is next door lending. Don't take these. All right. These are ours, but whatever. It is what it is. I'll deal with that later. But we've been piloting this. So give you an example of how this works and how incredible this is. You upload any client you've had first person contact with. So this doesn't have to be a closed loan, but we have been leveraging it for our closed loans personally, just to give you an idea. And here's how this works. So remember, CoreLogic is connected to the MLS. That means any listing that goes up, they get right away because they're the ones that control and have a lot of access to that data. Now, your clients, believe it or not, whenever they download certain applications, they're giving consent to share locations as part of that application that they're downloading. So it's basically seeing their movement, and it's tracking to an extent that gives people a vicinity of where that consumer might live. So what CoreLogic does is they have all of this data. And so if somebody buys a house with you, and let's just say they close at 123 Main Street, they can see based off the data they have and the applications that certain clients are downloading and the applications that they have that the client lives in the vicinity of 123 Main Street, and they can see a transaction was done recently. Now, with what you upload, that can get tracked for as long as you need. So imagine you're a consumer that CoreLogic has the data for. You've uploaded that list of who you want tracked. And then imagine they now are going to these different houses that are listed on the market. Well, what did we say? CoreLogic has the data based on the application. So now imagine they go to that same house twice. CoreLogic says, well, listen, we believe this client might be shopping. They've gone to a house that we see on the MLS, and using the applications that they have, we believe this consumer might be ready to, or might be in line to purchase another home again. This is real. What you're looking at is my data for my company. We made these calls, and I am telling you how deadly accurate it was unbelievable. So I'll stop there for a minute. By the way, y'all, ask your questions. We're not going to answer them until the end, but ask the questions because I can already tell brains are spinning right now. Somebody accidentally raised their hand earlier. Already. Oh wait, what is this? So Dylan, where did this data come from? How'd you guys build it? And then let's walk through what they actually get with the data.
Yeah. So again, as we said in the call, CoreLogic, we have all the information about parcels, about properties, about mobile devices, and that mobile device, that's the key data we brought in. So we have associations with lots of data providers, lots of data aggregators. One of those has digital advertising connections, and based on that digital advertising connection, like Jonathan was explaining, we're able to associate the mobile device, the cell phone, to the property, and then to those MLS listings. So we have that in our own ecosystem. We have that data in-house. And when those cell phones start going places you want to know, houses listed for sale, we have all kinds of capabilities we could do, college campuses, home improvement stores, et cetera. But when those people start shopping, they start identifying those signals, like Jonathan mentioned, 2 or more in a 90-day period. We capture that, we give it back to you as long as it's your contact. Then you're off the races. You can call those people and originate a new loan.
Now, Dylan, I think one of the things we piloted is the way you have the conversation with the client. For those of you listening, be a salesperson, okay? You might be thinking, John, this is scary. The answer is yes, depending on how you tell a client about this information, okay? And the way I look at it is this. You can either be Blockbuster or you can be Netflix. I choose to be Netflix. And when we're calling these clients, do not call them and say, hey, it looks like you're shopping for a home. You're done. You lost it. We piloted that. Doesn't work. Okay. This is a check-in. This is an opportunity to check in with you. How have things been? What's the game plan for your current house? I know we closed it about a year ago. Walk me through how things are going. Oh, John, believe it or not, here's what's happening. So Dylan, what we're looking at now, this is next door lending specific for my company.
Yeah.
So from our customers, can you just walk them through what we're looking at so I don't botch it?
Yeah. So, and I think Tom's going to talk about market intelligence here in a bit, but I used market intelligence to find this information. So I took 2,254 addresses that Nextdoor has closed over the last, 2 or 3 years. I uploaded those into the system. It takes about 30 minutes. It's one CSV file. It's really easy to do. And we found 62 active shoppers. So of those 2,200, there's 62 of them that are in market going to houses listed for sale. If you look at the first one here, I was looking at this before we joined the call. This person bought this house in January 2024, so not too long ago. You might be like, well, what is this person in the market doing? Well, we're seeing a lot of crossover between people doing new purchase mortgages, and also you buy a house in January, it's cold, maybe you need to finish your basement. Maybe you need to upgrade. What do you start doing? You go to houses listed for sale, you look at their basements, you look at their kitchens, you get design ideas, you refinance, and then you upgrade your own home. So there's a ton of crossover between refinance and new purchases, and that's what we're seeing from the data. So again, we took the data, we took these addresses, we upload them, we find those shoppers. All the data is here. You can see, this one in Michigan here, they've been to 5 houses listed for sale. You can see the data on the bottom. They've been to 5 houses listed for sale since July 4th. They most recently went to a house listed for sale on August 3rd. They have revisited one of those properties. So this is a really engaged shopper. And then in addition to that mobility data, we'll also tell you all the property information. So we'll tell you, how their house is worth based on CoreLogic market leading AVM. We'll tell you estimated equity, what that CLTV is, and all the great information that you can have to understand, what these people are doing. And Jonathan, Tom, I'd love to know, as a originator, someone who's in this business, what does this data mean to you? How are you using these data?
And no, listen, so this is huge. And then we had somebody say, Tom, if you could take a look, Michelle, we're on it. I think some of the others are seeing it from what I saw from Rhonda here, who had a question. So can you just zoom in a little bit? Was something that we had, Dylan, just to make it a little bit easier for the viewers to see. So yeah, this is us zoomed in, Rhonda. So take a look at whatever you need from that perspective. So here's how these calls are going on our end. So the first thing that you have to understand, and this is just my, love you guys, Dylan, thank you. And I'm going to give you very, chat disabled. Thank you, Fraser. Appreciate you too. So I'm going to give you guys exactly how I'm using it, the pros and not the cons, but things to look out for. So CoreLogic is taking feedback. This is something that they're bringing out to us, here to our community through UWM and AIME specifically to the entire channel. So some of the things we saw is, hey, we just closed this loan. This client's not actively shopping. You get a couple of those, not a big deal at all. Just literally give the feedback. And Dylan, if they have feedback, where do they send that to?
Yeah, there's a sales at CoreLogic. That's the email address. You'll have that as a follow-up to this webinar. And then you can, there'll be, if you go to our website, there's going to be 100 different form fills you can go to, reach out to CoreLogic. We're easy to access. If you go to CoreLogic.com, precision marketing, there's going to be form fills there. You can give us your feedback, reach out with questions, and someone will give you a call and be back to you pretty quickly.
Thank you so much, Dylan. If you could just put that in the group chat for them, just so they know where to send feedback. So once you get those out, there's a couple of those. The majority of them are dead accurate. So our first go around, we did 1,000 consumers. Of the 1,000 consumers, we had 17 active shoppers. When I tell you 10 of them were coming back to us, but we were missing the other 7, we did convert 4 of those back on our end. And that was a massive win for us. There was 4 out of those clients that we were not in front of. We can't be perfect, right? We're not machines. This is the advantages retail used to have that we now have. I was part of it. I was at the largest retail lender in the country at a sales capacity, a leadership capacity. All of this was at my fingertips. I didn't realize we didn't have this opportunity at the broker space when I got here. We are now building this and bringing it to you. So you now have this ability to call these clients. Now, again, the way you have the conversation is on you. It's on you. Don't wait. Some of my LOs were procrastinating. Yeah, John, I'll give them a call tomorrow. Why on earth would you give an active shopper a call tomorrow? It's in front of you and it says they're actively shopping. You've already either done a loan for them or had some sort of contact with them because that's the only way you can upload these. You have the right to call them. That's literally within your legal rights to do that. You're missing that opportunity if you are not going down that path. So that's how I'm leveraging a lot of these conversations. But the scripting is so important, and we'll make sure we get that out to you for all of you to see it. But this is directly from the source. This is not third party anymore. Please understand, this is CoreLogic's data. And they're not saying, hey, we'll sell to somebody else for them to sell to you. They're literally saying, we're going to sell it right to you. And we're going to make your life that much easier. And you're going to get this. And I know you're thinking, what's the price, John? You'll hear it at the end because we're in sales. So I can't go through all of that just yet. Now, here's a couple ways. And I'm going to dive into precision marketing, but please ask any questions that you have. We'll answer everything that you need at the end as we go through this here. I'm not too familiar, Wade, with the other 2 that you mentioned. The last 2 that you have on there, Wade Betts. Dylan, if you want to take a look at Wade Betts's question, you can answer that if you know who those are, or Tom, if you know it as well. Because
I do. And here's the deal, right? So because for me, I use HomeBot, same as Home IQ. This, in my opinion, is different because it's really, you're getting intel you're not sharing this with the client. Home IQ is going to send them a property value report and try to gain interest. This is next level. To me, when I use this and I plugged in, Jonathan, I don't know if he plugged in, leads or if they weren't closed loans. I plugged in closed loans. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Dylan, I had like 890 of my closed loans that were my personal ones since we transitioned from Calyx Point to Lending Pad, right? Well, out of those, there were 9 shoppers immediately. So I called him. Then just like Jonathan said, I don't want to be the creepy guy like, hey, I noticed you went into a house on August 3rd. No, it was really clear. Hey, just wanted to check in. How are things going? Really appreciated working with you last time. Here's what's going on in the market. Opened up the dialogue. And out of those, I closed 7 of my transactions from my past client database that I'm paying for HomeBot. I'm paying for a CRM. We use Be in Touch. I'm paying for all of these different services. This gave me access to something from a timing perspective that triggered me to say, hey, let's call this person. We know that they just visited an active listing. Now, just like anything, maybe they went over to their buddy's house and the active listing was just on the market. All right, great. The reality is it triggered me to call them. One of them, they were like, yeah, my brother was selling his house. This was kind of cool. And I was like, oh, really? Well, that's awesome. Where's he moving to? And I started the conversation and got to the point to where, hey, any chance that I could talk to him and see if we can give him a competitive offer? So even in those situations, as Jonathan always, talks about, we are in sales. That conversation should be relationship based, but this is not similar to those other tools. I don't think it's going to replace something else because personally, I've never seen anything like this because they're tracking cellular devices. I don't know how to say it other than that's to not sound creepy, but it's like if you have an app on your phone that says, do you allow it to track allow other apps to track the data or whatever it is, when you're seeing those things pop up, there's a reason for it. And a lot of those people are purchasing it from CoreLogic and they're trying to resell it. What Jonathan and the team has done at AIME here with CoreLogic is we're bringing it directly to our membership. Now, when I say this is cutting edge, this is something that I have not seen anywhere, that it's not going to replace any tool. This is something brand new that's going to help you identify who your clients are, where they're shopping, and when is the right time to reach out to them. And there's nothing else like it in the market.
So this is anybody you've ever had first person contact with. Does not have to be a closed client. It does have to be first person contact. So that a text message, a phone call, somebody you didn't close, that's fine as long as you've had at least one conversation. Am I saying that correctly, Dylan?
That's spot on.
And Sam, we will double check on yours, but I don't believe that's the case. We can kind of dive into it there. Now, from a real estate, so Chris, to answer your question, it's literally a conversation you have with a client. You don't have to do their loan. So you just upload their data. So there's a system, CSV, you upload it, whatever LOS you're using, Lending Pad, Arrive, whatever the case might be. If you're using different ones, no problem. You simply upload it, or even your CRM system if you're leveraging a CRM. Even if you track via Excel, that these are how you talk to your clients. It does not matter how you track it. You can be as old school as can be. You can be as new school as can be with regards to your CRM, your LOS. So it does not matter. Everything gets uploaded via CSV. It's very, very simple. Here's how you leverage this to get into doors with real estate agents. And when you hear the price point, you'll understand how to leverage this and have this conversation. I've gotten in the door with my agents by literally calling them and saying, hey, you want to make sure you never miss a client that shops for a home after you do their first purchase? They say, what? This has gotten me in so many doors. You have no idea how many doors it gets me in. But it's all about how you leverage it and how you get in front of it. Your agents, most real estate agents are not doing 40, 50 transactions. All right. They might do 5. They might do 10. Even if they do 4, this is a chance for you to gain an additional opportunity. If your average loan amount's $300,000, I have the chance to put $9,000 in your pocket. That's a big deal for us. So please, when you're selling this, when you're pitching it to your agents, imagine that, hey, this is how I become your partner. One of the things that I'm learning talking to brokers, that's where I spend all day doing now, y'all. You see me. You all see what I'm doing. You see me traveling. You see me in these one-on-ones. I don't have to pretend. One of the biggest things that we're dealing with is, hey, how do you be a business partner to your real estate agent? I ask this question all the time to people. If you're on a stranded island right now and your agent's there and they had to build a company, would you be in their top 5 people that they need on there to build their business with? The answer for most LOs is no. These are the tools that agents are looking for, but it's about how you sell it. John, they don't seem interested. That means you're not excited enough. That's on you to have these conversations. So I wanted to dive into that a little bit. I have a lot of people here asking the question, so keep them coming. We're very, very excited. Please don't spend too much time diving into the DNC thing right now. We'll get
I can answer that one real quick too.
Please focus on the positive. This is why I don't want to turn on the chat here. It's crazy to me that that's the focus, just to be real with you, because I'm showing, this is my real database you're looking at. This is like my real database, okay? This is real. It's not fake. This is 62 shoppers, and a lot of these shoppers I did not know about. Give
Yeah.
your chance the opportunity to win. This is what allows you to do that. So with that being said, I want to pivot in to go ahead.
Let me just say one thing real quick about the DNC thing so we can move on. If you noticed on there, CoreLogic isn't giving us the information. They're not giving us phone numbers or anything else. So you do your own part on your own diligence, right? What we're showing is, for me, I use my past client database. If you bought a list that was compliant, then use that, right? This isn't about you're buying leads. You're supplying the data and uploading it into their system. So it's kind of, as John was saying, irrelevant, but I want to make sure we give clear answers as to why, because they're his clients, so he knows. For me, it was my past clients. CoreLogic, as you notice, doesn't have any of that contact information. What they're doing is tracking a device, and they figure out where that device lives. If that device lived at 123 Main Street, and now I see that device that lived at 123 Main Street visited an open house, and then they went and visited another open house, we're letting you know that somebody who lives at 123 Main Street is shopping. It doesn't say, hey, call Jonathan Haddad at 612, blah, 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 blah. They're just letting you know. So that's how it's a little bit of a tricky part, but I think it's important. You guys know me and Jonathan, we both like clarity with it, but it's not, I just want to make sure the scope of what it is delivered accurately.
Spot on, Tom. I appreciate you walking through that. And yeah, it does make tons of sense. Now, I want to dive into market intelligence. And then once we dive through this, y'all, we're going to give you a whole idea. Yes, recording will be sent. We're going to edit and have some fun with it. And I got to ask for all of you that are viewing right now, because this opportunity will help scale AIME like you would not believe. And we believe that the potential on here truly is unlimited, because we've never had anything like this. Now, for those of you that know Tom, obviously, he's built just an impeccable business, and he himself is just an unbelievable human being. You guys know him. You know what he brings to the table. So he's been piloting this with market intelligence, and it's really special the way he's leveraging this. So, Tom, I'd like you to kind of dive into market intelligence and how you've been really bringing it to the forefront.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for one, I appreciate the kudos, but you guys know me. I don't think any of us as broker owners in this industry, we're not reinventing the wheel, right? I don't consider anything that I share proprietary, because I'm one of those people that are of abundance mindset, similar to Jonathan, most leaders in our industry. However, I also want to make sure, as I'm recruiting and trying to grow my business, I don't want to hire brokers. I mean, I don't know how to say it other than that. I focus on hiring retail originators, because that's where we're really saving. Why I wrote loans. I like helping people, right? If I'm helping somebody move from one broker to the other, they already have the same experience. Maybe they're making 10, 15 basis points more, but that's not the prize that I focused on. For me, I focus on hiring retail originators, and I'm going to show you how I've used it to not only turbo power that, but to give you guys an idea. If you're looking to grow, you want to try to grow your company, and you want to focus on a certain area, and you want to focus on retail, because those are the people right now that need help, right? Most of them are like, I consider them circus elephants, right? They have that clasp on them. They're a 2,000-pound animal that just feels like they're stuck, right? To me, we need to reach those people and save them. So I'm going to share my screen and just show you an example of how I've used it. And I'll probably overshare a little, which is what I do sometimes. So take it for what it is, right? There's lots of different ways to do this. But if we go into market intelligence, I'm going to say, I'm just going to look in Texas, because Texas is a big area. As you know, the company that I run, we're big into VA. Texas is a big VA area. I'm going to search in Texas, all right? Hit apply. I'm going to go to transactions. Now look, origination channel. Now, pay for other services. I like, was it MMI, Redder, all of these different services. There isn't another one out there that I know that can identify the channel of business in which I'm hunting, right? I don't know about you guys, but if you get text message and invites from some of the large brokers out there, it's annoying, right? I don't think you've ever gotten one from me. If you did, it was from one of my team members. Reach out to me and I'll tell them to stop it. But the reality is, I don't want to recruit a broker. I want to recruit retail. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to apply this. I'm going to look and say, okay, maybe I want to go strictly after the top retail VA originators in Texas, right? I'm going to look at how many. I've got 1,200 retail originators in Texas. If I wanted to be specific, if you have a branch and you're trying to look to hire in your own area, you can search by county. You can search by, really a pinpoint accurate place to make sure that the pond that you're fishing in is going to be the best pond to yield the results that you're looking at. Now, for me, I'm taking this list. It's just going to show me 200 right now. There's obviously 1,200 there. I can export this list. It's not letting me do it on this screen. Let me see. Here it is. Actions,
Yep.
export it. I can export it to a CSV file. Now, what I do with this file, I set it up. I send it over to a company that does data mining, right? I use Upwork. They pay somebody $5 an hour, and they literally can take, if I want to, let me go back here. I'll show you. Let's just say our buddy Adam Patrick Connell might be with a builder. Who knows? Let's see. Swift Home Loans. Well, they're not retail. That's an odd one. I don't work out. Well, it's a great part about Alive. Let's look at Vicky. Who's Vicky with? That's WBC. So everybody knows that's a retail company. I can go and see. Now, what I'm doing is I'm clicking on the Google button. It's going to automatically, when I have my data miner person doing this, giving me their cell phone, giving me their email, giving me their NMLS number. Okay. I'm taking that and using a different service that all of us use, or a lot of us do that are partners of AIME. I'm using Bonzo. I upload that list into Bonzo. I have a text, email, and ringless voicemail campaign. And that's how, if you look at people that are able to hire at scale, how do you want to do it? Do you want to hire a marketing team of 50 people? Look at what the hourly rate on that is. And especially knowing how brokers work with margin compression, we need to be able to generate the most amount of revenue with the least amount of costs. So I can take a list of 1,200 VA focused retail originators in that market, plug it into a campaign, look at what the cost of that is. I set up my webinars, I run it. I am telling you, it's like the best part, what I love about our community is maybe 1 or 2% of the people will execute off what we share. Jonathan's been key on that. He shares things within his own company. He could probably copied and pasted some of his clients that were out shopping, but he knows that the majority of people won't do it. That's why I want to share with you guys, those that are on this call today live, close to, we got close to 200 people. You're the executors in this market, right? We have 100,000 licensed originators in this channel, and you are seeing cutting edge technology that, one, you want to manage your past database and make sure you're not losing anything. We're showing it to you, as Jonathan highlighted. You want to recruit and you don't want to buy a list. How expensive is it to buy a list? I used to buy lists. I'll tell you what, I can pull $1,200 for what the cost of this service is for 1 year. And that's just you saw me do it within 10 seconds. So it's hyper local if you want it to be. It can be national, whatever it is. If you're looking to keep an eye on your database and be able to recruit and grow your business, CoreLogic's your partner.
You could thank you, man. Like, I appreciate you diving into it, especially the way you are. Just like, that's literally how Tom just showed you how he scales his business. I need you to know that. That's what Tom just showed you. Dylan, couple questions on market intelligence.
Yep.
You share your screen, and number one, can you showcase realtors? And if I wanted to work with real estate agents that did under $5 million in buy side business, and let's call it Florida, for example.
Yeah, for sure. So like Tom mentioned, again, thanks, Tom. Love, Tom's been using this thing since like February. He gives us so much feedback. We've made a lot of improvements based on what Tom told us we needed to do. So it's been a great partnership. But yeah, we have loan officers for recruiting. We also have those real estate agents in here. So if you want to do buy side, let's say Florida, you can just click on Florida. So now we're already immediately going to filter to Florida. You can say, I'm trying to find, maybe I want to find an agent that does, that does work in the wholesale space, or maybe I want to find one that does work in the retail space. You can pick it, right? So I'll say, let's say someone who works with wholesale lenders in resale. I don't want to talk to new home builders. I want to apply that, right? So 2 additional filters that are unavailable in a lot of other products. Just you're done there, and you're automatically filtered. So now we're seeing who those lenders are, right? That makes sense. That passes the common sense test. Who those buying agents are. So the top buying agent that does that, we can filter by production. You can filter by product mix, right? If you want to see who's doing conventional, who's doing FHA, who's doing VA, you can see that here. If you wanted to know, who's doing conforming or non-conforming loans, who's doing business in LMI communities, if you're trying to grow your business in those communities, you can do all those filters. Just say we'll pick one here. We'll do DJ. the DJ to real estate agent, you can see their company. Again, that Google button is here. You can say, if you want to go find their contact information. The nice thing about being in this space, trying to talk to brokers, real estate agents, they're always easy to find, right? You can do Google button, you get a cell phone, you get an email, you can contact them almost immediately. But you can see, DJ's done 41 sales in the last 12 months. Our data goes all the way back to 2019. So if you want to say, how much business have they done since 2019, you can apply that filter. Click apply, and then so since 2019 January they've done 245 sales, and again we'll show you those transactions. So if you click this transactions button and you want to know where exactly they're doing that business, what the sale amount is, who the lender was, what the loan company was, who the loan officer, all the information, it's all here. You can export it all, you can use it for whatever your use cases are. Because really we just want to support you and help you grow your business. So that's how it
look
works.
At the access. Look at the access that was the seller, that was the buyer, like via the agent. This is at your fingertips. Dylan, builders. So you had it on there, a new sale. Can you just showcase, if I want to see an agent that primarily works with builders, how do I do that? Hit new home.
You would just say, hey, I don't want to see resale. I want to do new home and construction. I'll get rid of this wholesale channel filter. I'll apply that. And then these are, again, we're still in Florida, but you could do this anywhere. These are obviously the lenders are going to change based on who does lending with those builders. These are the buying agents and the selling agents that represent those transactions at that level. Again, we're going to all here. Again, go to the transaction detail. It's probably hopefully going to say, who bought it, who the selling agent was. If there's no mortgage, you won't have that information, right? So someone didn't use a mortgage to buy this $713,000 house. So congrats to them. But then, if you're trying to find, the lenders, the builders, et cetera, it's all going to be the transactions as well.
This is, this opportunity. I mean, you guys see what you're looking at here. Obviously, it's not like it is mind blowing. And the thing for me that really stuck out the most is when I went and visited and saw the 007 place and all the so the 007 thing, just so you know, it's this massive door that is absolutely it's basically whited out completely, and then if they do like a retinal scan, it unlocks and you can see everything on the other side. So like the second he did it, I just looked and just stared and I just smiled the whole time. It was unbelievable. Megan, I saw it. Yes, I'd absolutely have no problem doing a role play about how I have the conversation with agents. I'll save that till after. But the opportunity here is immense. And it's also an opportunity if you're in a certain county. Like, think about this. Imagine you're in, I'll use Michigan for an example. And if I found a certain area in Michigan and I clicked on a certain county, I'll use Wayne County, which I know is very heavy with using wholesale. But if I hit on a county in Michigan that isn't heavy in wholesale and they're heavy in retail, that's just an easy conversation for me to have with a real estate agent, just to let you know. And that's how I'd also leverage this. You can also look up anything in terms of production for loan officers. You can look up your own production. You can look up other LOs' productions. You can go through a lot of that and leverage it and use the tools that way. But in terms of the accuracy for real estate specific data, it's the most accurate thing that I've at least encountered. I won't speak for Tom on here, just me personally, from a real estate side, because a lot of the times with some of the systems that I've used in the past, pulling the agent data, it's always off pretty substantially. And I don't know what the case is, but this is coming from them, which is tied to MLS. So think about that opportunity that you have. And then this should be, I'm not going to answer that question, but I will. Dylan, if you see the question that we got, we don't have to mention the name, but that question, the last question we have, will it be more accurate? Can you go ahead and touch on that?
Yeah, I'll just say this CoreLogic, it's all first party data, right? So some other companies will scrape data, they'll get it from other places. We stand by our data. We're, I think why we are a successful company. And Jonathan, we chatted a couple of days ago. We were a public company. We were purchased by private equity for I think $6 billion a few years ago. So we do a lot of business. We're a market leader in our space. We're very confident in our data. We're so confident we'll even tell you. We have this button here. It's called data history. If you want to know the last time we got transaction data or recording data from a county, you can click the data history button. Say let's do Michigan, right? We do Wayne County, Michigan. And we can say, okay, let's go to Michigan. See how recently we've gotten data from there. I won't do Wayne. I just apply. So every county in Michigan will tell you when did we receive an update from that county recorder office, and when did we complete the month transaction. So as of July 17th, we are confident we've captured every transaction that's happened in Allegan. I'm sorry, I said that wrong, but Allegan County, Michigan. We've completed the month of June. So we'll tell you where the data comes from, when we got it, and we're very confident in that quality.
And they're the only company that can do this because they are the only company, this is a fact, they are the only company that has access to every assessor in the country. There's no other company that has that data. That's just a fact. Like, just to give you guys an idea about this, and they said I could share this. This company was a publicly traded company that was bought for $6 billion to go private. So just think about that for a second. And the fact that somebody was willing, and a group of people were willing to pay $6 billion to have this company go private. So the fact that we have this opportunity, it really is a big deal for the entire community. And we're coming up here about 5 minutes. So I want to walk y'all through the pricing and what we have set up here. And so please, like, we worked so hard, our team at AIME, Tom being part of it, all the conversations, flying out there, talking to CoreLogic, talking to Dylan, to Dave, and so many people behind the scenes. UWM helped push, help make this, available to our community. And it's been a huge ordeal. So I haven't asked for all of you after this, but price point wise, you get the bundle that you get the bundle on every single piece of this. So you get both of those, and you can either sign up for a 12-month contract, which breaks down for $199 a month, or you can do month by month, and it's $299. And that gives you both the precision marketing and the market intelligence. And the only reason we're able to negotiate this price is twofold. Number one, the relationships that we obviously leverage to bring to the community. But number two, it's the fact that they have the data and they're not selling it off. It's them. It's first-person data, and it makes it easier because we're not having to pay all these potential people in the middle of that ordeal. And so the link for everybody, he just signed it up there. Sign up for that link. Give yourself an opportunity. Please give feedback. Deliver the feedback. Deliver the content. Nikki, good question. Are multiple logins allowed within a brokerage? I do believe we're working on some sort of enterprise, which we have not done yet because we are working on the initial rollout, which is what you're seeing today. But we are looking for an opportunity down the road. I'm not going to go into and get myself in trouble over here, but I will say they know that occasionally somebody else will log in, and they've been very polite to us as of late. But please don't not take that for advantage, because that will change. But we are working on an enterprise account, and you're not going to have that availability to log in multiple times for long. It will go.
And to me, just to touch base on that, because I talked with Dylan on this initially. And brokers is we're independent, right? So I hate enterprise accounts, right? So when you look at a company like CoreLogic that's willing to do something on an individual basis, that in itself is rare, right? So to me, I wanted to make sure if this was going to be delivered, if I wanted to deliver it to my own team, I want them to choose, right? I don't want to force technology on somebody. Either you're going to use it and it's going to make you a lot of money, or it's going to be another account that you're just paying, that like my gym membership the last 6 months, right? I'm paying it, but it's not doing anything for me. Okay. This is the same thing. There isn't any other companies really out there that are offering a single-use subscription that have access to all of the different levels that CoreLogic's providing us. And then, we talked about looking up loan officers. Let's do a quick share real quick, because I thought this was kind of cool. I was talking to Elizabeth Cassidy. I don't know if she's on our Zoom today, but one of our AIME members. And I wanted to see who was the top wholesale VA originators in Florida. Bam! I sent her that. She's like, no way. I talked to Rob from Future about it too. He was like, this kind of stuff, even internally. Imagine from a marketing standpoint, you're taking that data and you're showing it, sharing it. UWM's created us app for our leaderboard. However, that's one lender. Maybe you do with 7, 8 different lenders. Okay, great. And once again, something else you're going to be able to use from a marketing piece to really identify for you, hey, who in my town, who in my city am I competing against, right? You can get this so dialed in that it's, to me, it's just next level. So anyways, I had to share that one. Shout out to Elizabeth Cassidy, by the way.
She's awesome. It's funny. I had a conversation with her this morning. She's coming in over here, but that's been a huge ordeal, and it is nice, like the prop ups and just making people feel good and having the right data in front of you. So look, here's my ask. Okay. Obviously sign up. That's number one. Number two, we have a huge opportunity at AIME, and we had this conversation with CoreLogic. Our goal by the end of 2025 is 2,000 users on this. And CoreLogic, a company that can help become just the absolute biggest vendor that AIME has is willing to put their money where their mouth is, but they said you have to earn it. So we need 2,000 people by the end of 2025. And the best part is they're going to keep releasing more and more of their technology. They're building a lot more than just this. Deliver the feedback and give it. So my ask for you is simple. Outside of signing up, I'm posting on our Brokers Are Better Facebook group. I need you. We need you. The community needs you to comment and engage, because we're going to edit this video. We're going to make it sweet. We're going to showcase the people that missed out on this webinar on what they have the ability to do, because my team is loving it. Tom's people are loving it. And this will be the biggest difference. So I'm going to post. When I post, I'm looking for all of you. I need your help. And we are here to help every step of the way. We will work on we will get the scripting out for the attendees. Only the attendees will get the scripting. So if you're on, we'll get that list. We're going to send you out the scripts. It's everything that I do, that Tom does, how to talk to agents, how to leverage the precision marketing. All that stuff will be in your inbox. But we appreciate each and every single one of you. You have the links. Scripting, please. We got you. You have my word. But besides that, I'm Jonathan the Dad, and we are very, very excited. We are grateful. Thank you all so much for jumping on such short notice. We're going to do more of these, but you are going to help us push this for our entire community. We need you. So thank you all. And thank you, Dylan. Thank you, David. Thank you, Tom Hollis, for doing this.
Thank you all.
Thank you, buddy.
Be safe, y'all.
Appreciate you. Have a good day.